Hello, and we are back. Hi, Pavan. You should not be here. I'm going to kick you out for a second. I'm going to remove you. Hi. You're watching Ideas on Point with Roop Rai on TCSAN Facebook and TCSAN YouTube as usual. Please like and subscribe. It's really, really, really important for us that you like and subscribe the page, the TCSAN page on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. We are here Monday to Friday at 5:15 p.m. live. And of course, our videos are going to be on the page, Facebook page, as well as YouTube, as well as Instagram after the fact, after we're done the live. So happy to be here again. It's a great diversion for me in these times of COVID that I get an opportunity to talk to so many different people through this medium. I'm so excited to talk to my husband again because we barely get to talk at home. So I'm really excited to speak to him about a couple of things that he probably would have a lot more information than I would. But before we start that conversation, I want to acknowledge that behind the scenes, Ali Nizami is driving this show. So thank you, Ali. I know you're there. Thank you so very much. And let's bring Pavan back into the stream. There he is. Hello, Pavan.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am good. Long time no see.
Yeah, it what, a few hours ago? That's a long time. Yeah, I can't live without seeing you. So 2 hours is as long as a era.
Can I be a wife right now, and can I tell you to not move your chair because it's really nauseating me?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome again. It was really fun last time, but this time we're going to try to keep it as tight as we can. We're going to start with talking with the new trends in the sectors of technology. Let's start with technology, or do you want to start with finance? Let's start with technology.
Yeah, so well, that's an intersection, right? So it's the new world is going to be a technology enabled world. So so the main.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted a second welcome. So thanks.
Welcome again. No, I'm just sharing it on my Facebook. Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, so it's a technology-based world. It's going to be everything, in the major revolutions or major upheavals are going to happen in the day-to-day world. So finance, how we contract our monetary policy, how you exchange services and goods, that would change. Energy would change, and medicine and food. These are the main things would change. So. And transportation, of course. So everything is going to be. I think the COVID it was a gradual change, and COVID has really accelerated the change. So you see how people started working from home. That's one change we really saw, and the effect on real estate it had. So people put so much money in.
Almost like how Great Depression accelerated the change at that time. So COVID kind of worked like that.
Yeah, so COVID has really kickstarted, or it's boosted something which really was happening at a lower space, but now it's going to kickstart a new revolution. So people have now in India, the toll roads will not accept money, no cash. So that's in India. In India, everything which is usually a cash-based economy, the toll roads are not going to accept cash. Things like that, which would not have happened for a long time because now COVID, we don't want any touch surfaces. So things like that now moving to a digital economy will keep happening at a very fast pace. So that's happening, and in transportation. So and that the reason why oil fell down is because people are not moving around anymore. So that's the reason oil demand has fell down. So, and then there will be like, okay, if we don't really need cars so much, then we don't really need oil so much. Why can't we go into electrical cars with in the pollution, the way the pollution is happening, they're banning Diwali, like the, things like that. So it's everything is moving at a fast pace. So yeah, so that's what it is. Like it's like the electrical cars will take over very soon, and it's
And I think
happening.
Ali just inserted Tesla's photo in the frame there. There you go. I think he's trying to hint us to move on to Tesla. We'll talk about that in a second. So basically, what you're saying is that with COVID, everything that the technology, that the changes were coming, they have been accelerated now. And
Accelerated, yeah, and kickstarted, and really there is a big push. So there is always a push and a pull, right? So the
Mhm.
companies, the inventors, the industry, the university is pushing some of a technology, and the society is accepting it. So the
Mhm.
push and pull, there is always a balance between how much the society accepts it, how much the markets accept it, how much the
And
push
now
side.
the markets are accepting it
Yeah, so
because
the
of COVID.
yeah, so now it's a pull sort of a society. Their like,
Mhm.
market is like, we want something new. Like the COVID has really changed how people look at things. So the usually the push side of things is more aggressive. Here it seems to be the pull side is also getting as aggressive as push side. So
Right.
so that
So,
gives you.
and there is a space for space, ironic, I'm using the word space for people like Elon Musk to come in and
Yeah,
create basically a new market altogether. And just, he's what, the second richest man
yeah,
now?
so he's more than
And
worth more than $100 billion. He crossed $100 billion worth. So the Tesla is more than three thousand
Ali, you
dollars.
can bring Tesla in now.
So
Now's your
let me check
cue.
the Tesla stock price.
There you go. Thank you. All right,
So
go back
Tesla
to.
stock is $600 right now, $593 right now. So that this is
Mhm.
after a big split. So it has been growing like crazy, and before the split, it split at like $180 or something. Over a few months, it grew two times or three times. It's an amazing growth, and no one really expected Tesla. Like Tesla's,
Mhm.
if you imagine how much cars Tesla produces, it is tiny fraction of Ford. Ford
Mhm.
150, like if you Ford 150 is like three times Tesla companies or something, and
Mhm.
Tesla is a bigger company than Ford. It Can you imagine that? Like it's people are
So
valuing.
does that mean a lot of people are buying Tesla?
Even if lot of people want to buy Tesla can't produce fast enough cars. They have huge lag in production. This is so the stock
Mhm.
price has nothing to do with their their value right now. It has everything to do with what it's going to be in future.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Speculation.
yeah, it's all speculation. Stock price
Yeah.
is the value what the so Elon Musk is a
Are
very
you
interesting.
invested in Tesla right now?
Yeah, I am. I went into Tesla when no one was going into Tesla. So I'm not going to say how much I bought, but I made good amount of profit with Tesla. So when no one was like, "Oh, Tesla, dude, they have production problems. They can't produce. Tesla 3 is a
You sound
failure."
like Ed right now. Oh, Ed's Pavan's business partner, by the way. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
Tesla, I bought Tesla when it was very cheap. So I'm a very happy buyer with Tesla.
Oh, am I supposed to say something now, or
No,
no?
no,
Are
I'm
you
just
done?
saying. Yeah, so Tesla, the car company, they're seeing Tesla as like the Apple. So Apple has the reason Apple's hardware is nothing different from every other computer company. In fact, when IBM and Apple were fighting for each other, IBM had a computer which did more things. It was
Mhm.
performing better. It did more things. It was in every office. But Steve Jobs said that I'm not going to go after that. I'm going to go after a niche. I want to software and hardware. He was design minded. So Elon doesn't call himself Steve Jobs or anything, but he's very focused on having his product, which is a very product based. So it wants to be a technology. In fact, they call it Tesla to be a software product. It's mostly everything is software. So there is an
Mhm.
electrical motor, but everything they have software updates every week or so, like your phone. So
Mhm.
this is how technologically. So it's a software company. So if the automotive companies want to come and try to come and beat Tesla, they can't really, because they're hard. They're car companies. They are more interested in how the crankshaft
So you're
works.
saying the automotive, the
Yeah,
automobile industry has no future.
unless they try to beat Tesla in its own game. They're trying to beat Tesla in its own game, but it's very hard for them because they're old school. Their managers are trained on shop floors. Here, it's not a shop floor. It's like
But right now in 2020 or even 2021, I don't see a lot of people going out there and purchasing Tesla because of course, there's this restriction of having to charge it
yeah,
very
it's not
often,
it's
and
not a it's not very
it's
practical.
not happening overnight. It's not
No, it's not.
practical.
It's not. Okay. I'm not talking about here as in say that, oh, Tesla is a much better product or anything. It's just that Tesla is a very good stock market buy right now. I don't think it's a buy, but
Because of the speculation that it
yeah,
may be, well,
yeah,
it most likely
everyone will
will be
drive.
the next big thing.
Yeah,
Everyone will be driving an
mm,
electric car in 10 years.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's most likely it will be in the hotter climates before than it comes to Canadian climate. I think
So
in Canadian
we're not
climate,
looking at Teslas until we're much older.
no, I'm buying a Tesla.
Well, we're buying a Tesla then.
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess
buying.
we're
You
getting
can
it.
you can drive your the
Yeah.
other
My
car is
old
the
oil
other
and
car is
gas.
called an ICE car. It's an internal combustion engine. This is not an
Yeah.
internal combustion. The combustion happens outside, right, in
Hmm.
a power plant. It's not happening inside. So you can drive your ICE car, but I will drive my Cybertruck.
And
It's called a Cybertruck. Ali just put a,
my ICE car runs the Albertan economy for now.
yeah, that's right.
So kind
Well,
of
okay. So the segue to that, if everyone has an electric car, how are they going to charge it? Where does the power come from?
natural gas.
Yeah, so there you are supporting Alberta economy too. So
So
the
there will be no
natural
oil. Well, oil will be still in some use, but I guess not to that extent. But natural gas.
natural gas is the transition economy. Yeah, so that's where, so the transition fuel. That's where before it. We will talk about energy some other time. Let's talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a very interesting character. I remind, so he he made bunch of money in different things. We can talk about that. So, but he has this idea that he wants to be the first human in Mars. That is his motivating.
Mhm.
That's his
He's
philosophy.
sending some recently. He sent a truck to Mars,
No,
or
no, I'll talk about that. He didn't say
okay.
do anything. So, mm, uh, so he wanted to. So he wanted to go to Mars and live in Mars. So he went to Russia, and then he's like, where do I go? How do I start doing it? So he went to Russia and met a Russian military person and said that I would like to buy your intercontinental ballistic missile, because this is that's like a built-in rocket, right? So and then
Mhm.
he's they chased him out, said that we were not selling an ICBM to you, go away. And then he came
Oh.
back, and then that time NASA was laying off lot of people, and so he had
Mhm.
100 million bucks. That's all money he had. And
There
then he
he
put,
is.
yeah, there he is. He put all, that's Falcon 9. So he put all his money and hired bunch of NASA scientists who are going away. And then his basic, this is what he said: I want to go to Mars, let's make it happen. So, and then
Mhm.
in space, the same business model he used in Tesla too. The thing that he wanted to do was, let's build the fastest electric car. They had some transmission, they had like an electric race car prototype, and then they said that let's make a fastest car and then let's sell it to really rich people, and then use that money to get into the lower and lower markets. That's the
Mhm.
business model they tried. So they use the same model in SpaceX. So they said that let's have this crazy idea of building a SpaceX, building a big rocket to take for NASA to, and NASA space shuttle was dying out. NASA didn't really want to do
Mhm.
space shuttle anymore. They had a lot of problems. So the International Space Station didn't have a, didn't, America was not able to supply. So Russia was able to supply supplies and humans to space station. So uh, and then SpaceX said that we will do that. And from they started with small payloads, they started with small rockets, and now recently Crew Dragon was their manned space. So they sent NASA astronauts on a SpaceX Falcon 9 to a space station. So and then the next step is they want to build a base in Moon. That's what like they would that would be like a big launching station for Mars, because Moon requires little bit of less, because it
Mhm.
has 1/6 of gravity, so you need less fuel to
What
the
was
world.
their mission the recent most mission that was
Crew Dragon,
hugely publicized?
Crew
So
Dragon.
what did they do in that?
So they sent two astronauts, NASA astronauts. Earlier they were going on a Russian space vehicle.
Hmm.
Every so last since few years when they shut down the space shuttle mission, NASA didn't have a vehicle to take NASA astronauts to the space shuttle, the space station. So they all had to go to Russia. They had to pay Russia money to take it to. In fact, you can pay $2 million or something to get to space, not to space station, but in Russia in their space vehicles. So they used to pay a lot of money to Russians to take. Now the SpaceX Crew Dragon on a Falcon 9 can take astronauts to space station. So
You need to break it down when you're saying Falcon 9, when you're saying
Falcon 9, Falcon 9 is the vehicle, and Crew Dragon is the satellite. No, not a satellite. It's a vehicle which would go and dock into the space station. The Falcon 9 is the vehicle, and it comes back down to a drone ship. So
So
earlier,
why is all these details aside, why is Elon Musk cool? Why is it
I
that
don't know.
someone else could not do this, what Elon Musk is doing? Why is it that NASA couldn't do what Elon Musk is pulling off? Why is it that we needed Elon Musk to do NASA's work for them when NASA has the might of the government or the might of the public behind it, and yet you needed an Elon Musk to come and show that space travel can be done in an efficient manner. What is the difference there?
Government should get out of people's businesses.
Oh,
Government.
oh, oh, oh,
Socialist government should not tell
oh,
people how
all
to
right,
run
all right, all right,
businesses.
all right, all right. So you think privatizing
Yeah. So yeah. So
research or innovation is the better way to go because the government and the bureaucracy, when it comes
yeah,
in,
yeah.
it lengthens the process and makes it more expensive as well?
Yeah, and there are good reasons to that. It's like you are answerable to people, right? You are answerable to Congress, Senate, and then there are managers, and then there are safety issues.
Oh, there's
Here,
bureaucracy. Here's
there
safety issues.
Yeah, there are very safety issues are there, but at least you cut short lot of bureaucratic issues, and it's his
Mhm,
money. He got like $100 million and said that let's do it. It's the
mhm.
and he at some point he said that when the first mission failed, he said that he was bankrupt. He didn't have any money left to do anything, and it was stroke of luck and stroke of
And where did he make his first money from? How
uh,
did he start? He was born in South Africa, but he was raised here in Toronto, in
No,
Canada.
he
So he,
was he had a Canadian mother, I think, and he came here for 2 years or something, and then he always wanted to move to America. He always saw that America is the land of opportunity. So he
mhm,
came here and stayed in Queens and then moved back to Philadelphia. But he went to Stanford, that's in the Silicon Valley, and he got
mhm,
into PhD for physics or material science, and then he quit in 2 days. He said that
mhm,
I'm not wasting my life. And with his brother, he started some company which was like some web software company. It's like Zip2, doesn't matter. So and then he started X.com, which was an internet bank. So relating to our currencies, which is digital currencies, and then which got sold to PayPal. So he became a big investor in PayPal, and then PayPal got bought by eBay for it. That was one of the Web 1.0's big acquisition, a first $1 billion or second $1 billion acquisition. So he made bunch of money there, and that money he put into both SpaceX and Tesla.
Oh, okay. And when was this? When did Tesla start?
I
This was
think 2002, early 2000s. All it
yeah.
was like,
It's been a while that he's been at it,
yeah,
and he didn't give up. And I'm
yeah,
pretty sure there
and
was
then,
many times that he probably was forced into a corner where he was, of course, there was opposition to him and many of his ideas all
oh
the
yeah,
time.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't care. Like he's like he said that I'm giving up all my worldly possessions one time. He said that I'm listing all my 4 houses in LA, and then he said that I won't live. I will not have any worldly possessions. I will live out of my suitcase or something. So
yeah.
he goes he says that this is not how I want to live. So I don't know whether he
It's like
did that.
this Punjabi song, the Jeet song, Paise, Amrit Man wrote that. Maybe someone in the comments that you can tell me that song. I forget the lyrics. Paise puse di, fikr kare duniya and Asita. I am Charnu. Yes.
Yeah,
So I'm here to create a product. I'm here to
yeah,
make a
hmm,
difference, and
yeah.
money is not the driving factor, which is usually the case
Yeah,
anyway.
and
If you're passionate about something, money is usually not the
mhm,
driving factor.
no, and the companies he created later are all crazy companies. One company is an open AI. He said that all Google and Facebook are the leaders in the research in AI. So they are saying that we are keeping the research really close, and he's scared that these AI companies will become
Artificial intelligence, AI.
intelligence. Yeah, AI will go crazy and then will take over the world. He wants the AI research to be open. So he wants to know that how dangerous will it be. Like he's worried that there will be some sort of a Terminator event happen.
Hmm.
We can't talk about that. That there is a theory there that
नहीं नहीं theory रहने
no,
दे
no,
रहने
no, but we can go there. But so he started a company called Open AI, where he says that all this research is open, and that
दे.
company is doing very well. So and he says that it's open, so it's like a university, but it's not a university. It's very crazy, the whole idea where the research is open.
All right, we're 15 or more than that. We're about 25 minutes into the program. So I want to move on to Bitcoin. And when you speak about Bitcoin, please simplify it to the
Didn't I simplify
no,
the
no,
SpaceX?
no, you didn't. No, it was very convoluted. So we're not going to talk in convoluted terms. We're going to break it down as simple as possible. What is this Bitcoin?
Elon Musk has a car company called Tesla, and there are many cars which run only on electrics, and then they have they're moving on to a automatic driving system. So that's the Tesla. SpaceX is a for hire rocket company. So they for money they will deliver people and satellites. So that's where that's the SpaceX and Elon Musk. And I
Okay, no, I'm asking about Bitcoin. Why did we go to Elon Musk now?
you said that I convoluted. I'm
You are
simplifying it.
the you're not no, you're not a fun subject to interview because I'm asking you a different question and you're answering a different question.
No, no, no,
So
no.
let's get
Okay,
back to Bitcoin. We're done with Elon Musk. He's great. He's fantastic. We love him.
I
Move
didn't.
on.
I didn't say that.
So we're moving on to Bitcoin now. So come to Bitcoin.
Hmm.
What is Bitcoin? What is like we keep hearing about Bitcoin? What is it? Simplest terms.
Yeah. So the whole idea about Bitcoin started was people don't trust central banks. That's the basic idea. It's
And
like
who is this people? Are we
uh,
talking? I trust a bank.
no, not you. Like there are bunch of people, and who are more libertarian sort of a people who don't trust government, who don't trust the banks make the right decisions. Governments don't make the right monetary policies. So there are these bunch of economists who are like nerds, people who really don't believe that there should be control of a central
People like
bank.
you. People like
uh,
you.
yeah, maybe. I am not really sold on the way to go about it, but
Yeah.
I don't see that the government should be able to to generate. So let's to make it an easy example. So when the COVID happened, Canadian government gave $2,000 to almost everyone who asked for it, practically.
Mhm.
So where do you think the $2,000 came from?
Not Justin Trudeau's pocket.
No, it's not. So where did they come from? That question no one asks themselves. Like, where did they come from? They were
Mm-hmm.
just created out of thin air. So the central bank goes to a computer and says that, okay, let's generate $2 billion, and then they type in, some guy types $2 billion, generate, and then $2 billion goes into the treasury. This there is no justification for the $2 billion numbers. It doesn't matter on how much gold you have, how much production you have, nothing. It's just that someone types that number practically, and then that number is a key, by stroke of a key you generate money. And Obama, when in 2008, when he gave bunch of money to banks, that's how we generated. It's called quantitative easing, QE. There was a QE1 and QE2 in when we were in America. We kept on hearing this is basically money generated from thin air. So that money, that no one really trusts that kind of leverage. This money comes and it changes. Money has to be, there is an idea that money has to be finite. You can't keep generating money. So if you have infinite money, like your inflation keeps going up, there will be cash floating around. So but
Mm-hmm.
in Canadian case, they were arguing that, oh, our underlying economy is very strong, so we can absorb that inflation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole idea. So the idea of Bitcoin is, we don't want any central banks. We want
Mm-hmm.
this money to be decentralized. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
decentralized economy. And the other thing is, they want to take banks out of this whole equation. So not only central bank, which decides the monetary policy, which decides prints money, but also takes the money out. So takes the bank out. And the main reason why a bank exists is a ledger, right? That you understand the concept. So if I'm sending you money, it is taken from my bank account to a centralized ledger, and then from that ledger it goes to you. So the money exists only once at every given situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if I send you the money, if it's in your bank account and my bank account at the same time, even for a fraction of a second, it's transferred, then we both able to spend it. So it's called a double
Mm-hmm.
spend problem. So the banks, that's why banks exist, and then they take tiny fraction of every time you make a
Mm-hmm.
money transfer. They take a tiny fraction of
Service
the,
charge.
yeah. So and then
Mm.
that's how they make a lot of money. So that's another problem. Bitcoin tries to, it wants to be a decentralized ledger, as well as a take away the central bank from making monetary policies. That's a
Mhm.
lot of monetary policy there. I hope that was clear enough.
No, that makes sense. So how does Bitcoin solve this problem?
So they have a decentralized ledger. Uh, so what happens is, there is an algorithm which keeps track of all the bitcoins. So
Mhm.
uh, and Bitcoin is Satoshi Nakamoto. Like, no one knows who this person is. He wrote up this algorithm for Bitcoin, and I think it's a pseudonym. No one knows who it is. It's a group of people or one person, or no one really knows. He wrote
And
a
no one
like
knows where he is in the world?
No one knows who he is. So he
Mm.
wrote this and allocated him like 1,000 bitcoins or something. Right now it's like $20 million.
Monopoly money.
Yeah.
It's
So
like fake money.
he has the very first few bitcoins, and then, so this is how it works. So everyone, it's all electronic, so everyone has an electronic wallet. There is no real money. It's all digital money. So you can go and buy a bitcoin at any lot of exchanges. There are a lot of exchanges, and you pay some real money and get a bitcoin. That's one way of acquiring bitcoin. The other way of acquiring Bitcoin is, have a computer in your house or wherever and run a mining software. So this mining software is, which ones is, it goes and it becomes part of this decentralized computer. So it does work in keeping track of all the transactions. So for the work you do, you get paid too in Bitcoins.
Mhm.
So if
And
you,
how do you? If I'm in Calgary, if I have to go get a Bitcoin, where do I go get a Bitcoin from? Where is this exchange where I go?
Oh, it's online. There are many exchanges. You can say that I want a Bitcoin. Like you just say Bitcoin exchange. There are thousands of exchanges online. You
And
can go and
can I spend this Bitcoin to purchase a cup of coffee or?
yeah, you can. So
Oh,
where did I see somewhere that you can Bitcoins accepted here? There are these places where you see Bitcoin accepted here. So you take your phone. It acts like a Google Pay or an Apple Pay, and then you pay with your Bitcoin. The thing with Bitcoin is no one can track you. It's all anonymous. So you
so,
can
no, let's break it down. So there's this place, a coffee shop. I'm going
yeah
to there to buy coffee. So
yeah
I take my Bitcoin that I purchased from an exchange, and that
yeah
exchange, I'm giving them currency. I'm giving them dollars.
yeah. You're
I'm giving
yeah.
them.
So I said you can give them currency. That's one way of buying a Bitcoin. Yeah.
So I purchase, and who sets the price of the Bitcoin? Like
Yeah,
how
that
much
is
is
a
one
free floating.
Bitcoin?
That's a free floating. It so there are only very certain amount of bitcoins. Like they can only be Satoshi Nakamoto in his algorithm. If it goes to the only 20 million bitcoins can be mined. So
Okay.
there is a certain amount of so because the amount of bitcoins is limited. So there is a certain price on there is a certain price on Bitcoin. There are exchanges like any exchange. It depends on how much demand and supply. It's an exchange. It's a free floating exchange. So it's like I saw this morning 24,000 Canadian dollars is one Bitcoin.
One Bitcoin is
Yeah,
$24,000.
let me check.
Nahin baat cho karna. We'll check it later. I'm sure it's in thousands. But if I have to buy a coffee, I
Yeah,
can't buy a coffee.
25,000 something. Yeah.
So if I have to buy a coffee, I can't buy a coffee with.
Oh no, you can do fractional Bitcoin exchanges. So these exchanges do fractional. So your Bitcoin, when you buy a coffee, it will be 1 to 25 thousandths of a Bitcoin. You are going like for $1. Like if you are going for a cheap Tim Hortons coffee, you would be spending 1 25 thousandths of a Bitcoin.
But that Bitcoin will be on my phone.
Yeah, yeah,
That Bitcoin will be on my phone, and I go there and I tell them, "Here's my Bitcoin,"
yeah.
and
You don't tell them here is my Bitcoin. You tap it on a
you
Bitcoin
tap it on
exchange.
the Bitcoin machine or whatever,
Yeah.
and tap it, and they will take 125.
1/25,000th of a Bitcoin.
But
Yeah.
there's no record of me spending that money because it's.
Yeah. So this, as soon as this exchange happen, the only thing happens is the Bitcoin. Every Bitcoin has a timestamp basically. So in milliseconds. That's all it is. So that milliseconds
As
timestamp.
opposed to, sorry, as opposed to me spending my money with my credit card or my debit card, there is a record of it.
Yeah, there is a record. So there is a record of your credit card number. There is a record of your bank. There is an accepting bank record. There is an it goes to Tim Hortons. So if someone can track it to uh, the coffee shop. Here there
So
is no.
Bitcoin works much like cash, but it's safe because it's not cash.
Yeah, and it's not cash, and it your cash. Okay, so let's take it. So if you have Canadian cash, and if you are going to America, you have to an exchange, and there is a ledger issue there too.
This is
But
international. It's
international, so if
international currency, no borders,
no
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 was
bank.
was a conversion, the currency conversion charges, no bank, no,
No bank,
and
nothing. It's a
and
frictionless. So there is
and
no
of
one.
course, like you can't lose it if it's online, if it's on cloud. It's
Yeah, there it
yeah.
is. You can lose it because if your exchange gets hacked.
That's
So
it. So that was my next question. So what if someone hacks your.
yeah, there is. So one guy apparently forgot the password of his exchange. Like he's an exchange owner. Oh, I forgot the password. I don't know how to open my Bitcoin exchange. I
Oh
lost
no.
$20 million of
Oh
your money.
no.
Oh boy, I'm so sad. Thank you. Bye.
Really? So if you lose your password, you're done.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah,
Oh,
so but you lose, but there are ways to do that.
a
But it's basically
quick question. Sagar says overstock.com accepts Bitcoin. When did it start? When did it start becoming mainstream? Like I think, are we headed in the way of using Bitcoins a lot more often?
see the problem is there is not really So the one thing which becomes easier is if you want to do international money exchange, like if you want to send money to India, that would be the best way to do it.
Mhm. Of
It's
course,
that,
yeah.
yeah, that's so it's happening in Latin America and it's happening in Africa. They are going to happen, but for day-to-day transactions, people don't really are not really like, as you said, if I want to go buy coffee, you don't really need Bitcoin to buy coffee. So the used cases there are, no one is really able to figure out how to how to come up with a use case for a Bitcoin. It's still very out there. So foreign exchange is a best use case people can figure out, and there are a lot of startups doing this. So this is how it started. But decentralized ledger, that has more use cases. Like it's like,
Okay, another question. So if you have Bitcoin, can you exchange it for cash, like actual
mhm,
currency?
mhm. Yeah, that's an
So,
exchange, right? You can go either way.
and if you go to exchange, they'll give you money in whatever currency that you want
Yeah.
the money in.
Mhm. There are
At
these
that, I mean,
Bitcoin.
at that rate, of
Yeah,
course.
there are Bitcoin cash machines too. I saw one in Calgary. I forgot where.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. I
So
never.
coming back to the natural gas economy, I know a company who is setting up these Bitcoin miners on top of these natural gas wells, because the price for mining a Bitcoin is your energy, right? That's your computer energy which runs off energy. That is your price. So they are
Mhm.
taking and putting on top of a natural gas field, and then they set up a small natural gas plant, and then that's the price they pay, and then they run these miners there. So in northern Quebec, the hydroelectric prices are so cheap. So that place, and in Mongolia, where there is cheap hydroelectric power, that's where a lot of these miners sit.
So they sit in Mongolia and north of Quebec
Wherever the electricity is cheap,
because the mining software, the computers that they're using,
need a lot of energy.
and
So
and when
and
they
then they need to
mine
be
these
and then they
Bitcoin,
need to be in colder climates because they generate a lot of heat, so they don't want to run AC machines to cool them. So you want to sit in northern climates where you ventilate.
and that's a full-time job, mining for Bitcoins.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people do that.
You just mine for Bitcoins and that's your currency and you spend that currency.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way you make money. That's the way you get paid in Bitcoin for authenticating these transactions.
It's also, I'm sorry, it's also very fictional and very
Yeah, it is, but
sci-fi.
this money is real though. It is very real, and it is acceptable. It
If
is.
if I had to start Bitcoin mining today in my own house,
Don't do it.
why and why or why not? Or
Oh,
if I had to do it, how would I do
because
it?
these miners are really uh, efficient. So the computer you buy is would not be able to mine you. So the thing is, when you want, so that this is designed so that it's a competition between different miners to authenticate a transaction. So you have to
Mhm.
have many miners competing. So if you have one miner, your chance of getting a Bitcoin may come once in a month, not even. So you may not, and then you keep spending so much electricity to get to the chance. But if you have these Bitcoins, are really, they come in containers, they sit in like efficient way of doing it, and then they get like 3 or 4 Bitcoins. That's the way to do it. For a normal person sitting in a house and doing it, they will just get a lot of electricity bills, and then their computer will break down very soon. So
So I need to go to north of Quebec or Mongolia to get this
yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. I heard that even in Kamloops or around that area, there is cheap electricity. Where you
Hmm.
want cheap electricity, and so if you can put a Bitcoin miner in the middle of a lake, because it's cooling continuously, and then you are
Mhm.
getting free cheap electricity there.
There's career advice
Yeah.
if anyone wants to do. Um, So apparently there is a Bitcoin ATM in Settletown. I just got a text from Ali. Anyone else who's watching right now, if you have any questions about Bitcoin, please do direct them in write in the comment section, and I will ask Pavan those questions. And of course, please like the video, like the page, like the YouTube, subscribe to YouTube as well as Facebook, and do send in questions or topics that you want us to talk about, and we will definitely pick Pavan's brains on it. And hopefully he'll get he needs to really break things down, and I'll be working with him
Tesla is a
personally.
car company. It runs on electricity. It has the three
Tesla
models
was
of
started by Elon
cars.
Musk. Elon Musk is a human being. Human beings are also known as Homo sapiens.
And Homo sapiens drink cow's milk. Cow is a four-legged animal.
And yeah, don't get me started on the cow. Remember, like, cow essay? Everyone had to do a cow essay when they were kids in India. My father or a cow.
and then you start, the only essay you by hearted is a cow and the cow essay. And then if you start on Elon Musk, it's like write an essay on Elon Musk. Elon Musk once was in South Africa, and then he was driving in his Tesla by a field, and there were cows in the field. A cow is a four-legged animal.
It has one tail.
It has one tail, four legs, and it gives milk and it eats grass.
You know, they say, hi, Max. Max says, how are you, Pavan? Pavan's good. Pavan's good. Pavan's at home. I'm not home. That's why he's even better. I had a politician friend tell me that whenever you have a conversation with a reporter or a journalist, they always ask you a question, like, if they ask you if your messaging is that you have to tell them the sky is blue, but if the journalist is asking you a question, is the grass green, you say, with, well, grass could be green, grass could be yellow, grass could be orange, but the sky that reflects down on the grass is
What
blue.
has orange
So
has
let's
to do
have,
with this?
well, I'm just saying, like, you could start with that, but you have to come back to the sky. That your cow story reminded me of that. But
No, I was talking about orange. What was the reason
okay,
behind?
no, let's not go into the details there. After such a long time, Max Memon is seeing you after a very long time. He was, well, I don't think anyone has seen Pavan in a very long time, because we've been hiding away because of COVID and other reasons as well. But yeah, after COVID, we'll all hang out. All right. Anything else you want to add about the Bitcoin? And
Yeah, I want to talk about the use cases. Like the Bitcoin started with this whole idea, but the decentralized ledger is a very interesting concept. Uh, so there is no single authority keeping an idea where the decentralized ledger is. So
Mm,
that's so in a logistic sense. So you want to know that, suppose this is a case where there was an issue of, let's do some. So avocados, when Mexican mafia, when the things got really tough in drug trafficking, they really hit on the ingredients of guacamole, on lime and avocados. They started
mm,
trafficking lime and avocados. So they started uh, putting a lot of curbs on farmers. The lime and avocados got really stolen. So it was a big issue then. So the nerds of the world said that we have a solution. So nerds of the world have only one solution: Bitcoin for everything. So they said that let's do a decentralized ledger for their favorite guacamole ingredients, so lime and avocados. They said that, so whenever the farmers load onto a truck, there will be some sort of a sensor, and it will sense how many avocados were there in the truck, and it will be updated into a ledger, and then it will track these avocados, so there is no one stealing the avocados. So if
mhm,
no one can, so these ledgers are, so there can be only one entry. So if you modify this entry, the whole, it can't, you, once the entry is accepted by the ledger, by the
mhm,
work you do with the miners, you can't change it. It's
mhm,
immutable. That's the technical term. It's immutable. Once, so if the farmer loads the crate, let's go through, like, an avocado plantation, you load the crate, its crate is there. So if you take the crate away, the ledger doesn't accept. So it's the crate got, so the crate is almost tracked from the farmer's field and to the truck, to the port, to the ship, to the container, to the truck, to your distribution center. Oh, everyone is like, oh, wonderful, that's the solution, we are trying to do it. What happens if the farmer is a Mexican mafia guy? Rather than
Mhm.
loading avocados, he's loading
It
rocks
can load
into it.
something else. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so there is always an end case. There
Human
has to be a
element.
human. Yeah, the end
Yeah.
case has to be a human. So
Yeah.
unless you have a robot who is on
Mhm.
blockchain as well, this decentralized ledger is called a blockchain. So if
Mhm.
you have a robot who is on a decentralized blockchain and he's loading the avocados onto the horse cart or whatever, you can't trust the system. So
Mhm.
the human is the most untrustable part of this whole blockchain decentralized ledger. So
Mhm.
you
What are the
can't.
chances of us using Bitcoins anytime soon?
The one thing we can one th- So if centralized, like if COVID, lot of reasons happen, and if centralized banks take very bad decisions, like they keep printing money, like Venezuela. So in Venezuela, the reason why there is an inflation is Chavez and other governments, they just printed money. It's a socialistic idea of like we can just give money to people, and then you give free money to people, and then once you give free money to people, money loses value. And and they and there, rather than in Venezuela, people would rather get paid in US dollars or in bitcoins. They don't trust their own currency.
Mhm. Which is highly unlikely
In
of
Canada, no, there is a
in
likelihood.
Canada.
There is
Well,
a likelihood.
I was about to say that with full confidence. This is highly unlikely would happen in Canada. Then I had to pause myself for a second. I'm like, it's kind
Yeah,
of
the
happening, or it
color you
has
mentioned, if
happened.
it comes to power, it will happen.
Oh my goodness, let's not talk about it. Yeah, Pavan is very against one party in Canada right now, so I have to, reel him in and not talk about that. We're not talking party politics here at all. Past that, beyond
Yeah,
that.
so when if you lose total faith in your central banks, so
Yeah.
that's when you totally get. So everyone trusts USD. That's the reason why all the transactions, if you are sending money to India, your Canadian dollar will convert it to an US dollar in a middle bank somewhere, and then
Mhm.
that money will be converted back. So
But let me ask you a question again. What are the chances of us using Bitcoins in Canada in the near future? Near
very
future, I'm
little,
talking in like next 10 years.
very
So we're
little.
we're still going to be using our good old cash or the credit cards or the currency that we're
Yeah,
using.
that's why all the banks are going to digitizing it. So it doesn't really matter what currency you are using, right? If you're taking if all the transactions are digital, so
Mhm.
that's what's going to happen. Like most of the transactions are digital these days. They are so frictionless. You don't even have to take your card and do anything. You just
Yeah,
tap
I
on it.
mean, I don't really see for me as a user, I don't really see for me to transition from what I'm using right now when I'm just tapping my card anywhere. And
Yeah,
also, I'm not really too concerned about them finding out where I'm going, or I know all my personal details are already, captured some way, one way or the other, whether it's my online use or whether it's my credit card, my debit card. If someone has to find information on me, they will be able to find information
yeah.
on me
So
or
anonymity is
anyone
a
else.
very small factor. It's not a high priority. The big
Yeah.
priority for Bitcoin is your devaluation. So your money. So if you have your assets in Canadian dollars, and then if something happens in future and it gets devalued, so it's a very real threat in Venezuela. People's whose whole pension money got devalued one day. It's like valued
Mhm.
$1 million pension is not even
Mhm.
worth 10 US dollars.
And coming back to the same question, what is the likelihood of that happening in Canada if that one party gets elected?
Yeah, then they will start giving everything for free. Then we will have a Chavezian government in Canada.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
so
All right. All
so
right.
that's the no, that's a very true thing. Like it's like, but Bitcoin, you can't, the highest inflation you can go on a Bitcoin is 4%, and which everyone agrees. Like even Krugman and all the people, they said that the best inflation, we need to grow as an economy, right? You can't really be at the same price. So best inflation is around 4%. So that's the inflation with which that's the theoretical rate at which Bitcoin grows. So you can't get devalued. So
Uh,
if so you
So
can't.
the summary of this entire conversation is that we're not going to be using Bitcoin anytime soon. It's a very cool concept, but we might be using Teslas pretty soon because
Mhm.
that's coming up. And with Teslas being used, it does not mean that we will be out of the oil and gas industry. Gas will still be used for charging stations and whatnot. So that conversation we can have next week. We can talk about the oil and gas industry and how that is, or how the future looks for
For
oil and gas
energy, yeah.
industry in Alberta or energy in Alberta. We can talk about that next week. We almost spent an hour talking about this. Like we never even talked this much at home. Our, our conversations don't go beyond like 5-10 minutes at home. But thank you for, putting on a coat and sitting in front
I
of a
wanted to.
computer.
Yeah, why do you need to look good on TV all the time? Why shouldn't I look good?
Oh,
I'm
oh,
trying to. I'm
and
trying
then
to
you threw on
match up to
a coat
your.
and you didn't even fix your collars or anything. You just kind of threw on your
Oh,
coat,
I
the
should.
other
I should.
coat.
I should have. I should. Yeah.
You should have starched it.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
But thank you.
I
Thank you
didn't
so much
want to.
for
I
trying
want to
very
match your
hard.
levels
Oh,
of
you
looking.
can't. That's not gonna happen.
I try, at least try, right?
But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and of course trying your best to simplify very
Tesla is an
complicated.
electrical car
Okay.
company.
Well, now it doesn't matter because the complicated part has already been said. I wish you had, decomplicated it in the beginning. Decomplicated, is that a word?
Simplify.
Uncomplicated? Simply, oh,
You are decomplicating complications by saying it decomplication.
I'm complicating the
The
simplify.
definition of decomplicating by saying decomplicating.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was been lovely speaking to you. It's almost an hour. Anyone and everyone who's watching with us right now, if you have any questions, please do send us in comments and we'll get them answered for you. And please, please, please do like this page, Facebook page, go to our YouTube, which is in our caption, go to our channel, subscribe. We need a few subscribers to get our own channel name. So we need your support there. So please do go subscribe there. In any case, we'll keep doing these programs every weekday at 5:15 with a different guest, and Pavan will be here every Thursday, hopefully, and we'll talk about different things. And within the next month or two, he will be a pro. And by that time,
I have a jacket on. I'm pro.
by that time, we also hope to be a professionally
Decomplicating
a
complicated decomplicating
decomplicated,
complications.
decomplicated, simplified versions of complications, hopefully. But anyways, we're just rambling. But tomorrow we'll be back at 5:15, and we will
What's
not
the
be
status
talking
on
about
your painting? The painting behind you. What's the
what's the
status?
status? What do you mean? What's the status?
Is it sold, or is you said it's sold,
Oh, this
right?
is sold. This is sold. This is going. This is going off the shelves, ladies and
You,
gentlemen, off the wall. So
would she
we'll
be able to paint me so that she can put my painting behind you?
no, that's not happening. We're not putting your work. So this is sold. So we'll get a new painting hopefully by next week. In case I don't know, like yeah, probably by next week we'll have a new painting. But let me finish. We'll talk about this later. So tomorrow we'll be back at 5:15. We'll be talking about the new super hit that Pavan hates, The Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives.
Am I part of the conversation?
No, you're not a part of that conversation. So we will be talking about that tomorrow with three beautiful women, my friends, Anamika, Puneet, and Renu. We'll be speaking about whether you should be watching that series or not. I don't know, Pavan, you're supposed to be shaking your head right now. Please don't watch it. Please don't watch it. But I watched it because I wanted to talk about it. So we'll be here tomorrow again at 5:15. Please do stay tuned. You're watching TC San, and I am Roop Rai on Ideas on Point. And this person here That's my husband, Pavan, and we'll come up with topics on, let's say, technology, science, anything to do with things that I don't understand.
Don't pigeonhole me.
Oh no, we'll pigeonhole
I'm a
you.
cultural critic as well.
Yes. So we'll be speaking to him about things that I don't really understand very well, so he can come and uncomplicate them for us.
No,
All right.
decomplicate.
Okay. Decompress. Let me do thesaurus for, what are the other words for simplify? Simplify. Break down, clarify, cut down, facilitate, reduce, shorten. Go get to the meat, hit the high spots. This is the one I'm going to use with you, Pavan, next time. Hit the high spots, put one straight, put in a nutshell, make plain, clear up, cut the frills, abridge, streamline, shorten, elucidate, disinvolve, disentangle, decipher, chasten. Yeah, all of these apply to you. So we need to do that next time. All right, thank you so much. It's been an hour. Sat Sri Akal, Namaskar. Walaikum assalam, assalamu alaikum, walaikum assalam, all of that. And it was lovely. See ya.
Bye.
I'm here by myself.